Alright guys, so today we're looking at the Hendrix Riffology, which is going to be really cool riffs from Jimi Hendrix. Awesome stuff. Starting with the Purple Haze riff, which I covered the very first part of that pretty well in the first video. So make sure you reference that, but of course have your tab sheets in front of you. We can use slowdown features and looping functions to help you get through that. So make sure that you do that, because members here get all those benefits. You want to use those. Alright, so I'm going to start with the second part of the intro riff. I'm going to use it I'm going to play it without the fuzz pedal, because the fuzz pedal is very noisy, but at the end I'll play it with the fuzz so you can hear what it's supposed to really sound like. So we're going to start with the fourth string, 5th fret. We're going to slide up to the 5th fret on the 4th string and then open like this. Then open 6th string, and then 5 to 7, slide on the 5th string. 5 to 7 again. Then to the 4th string, we're going to do 5, 7, and 7th bend, and end up with the 5th fret on the 4th string. So all that together is now we're going to go 5 again on the 4th string, open 5th string, open 6th string, and then 3rd fret of the 6th string. That was open 5, 7 on the 5th string, and then 5 on the 4th string, 7 on the 4th string with a full bend, and then 5, 7 again on the same 4th string, and then 5 one more time on the 4th string, open 4th string, and then we're going to slide to the 9 on the 4th string, 7, 7 on the 3rd string, and then 9 on the 3rd string. So all that slowly was Alright, now I'm going to play it to speed with the fuzz. Be a little noisy here. Again, the fuzz is key to his tone, but when you're learning it, it's really disruptive. So turn the fuzz off, turn it back on once you have it. Alright, so that takes us up to the chordal section. We're going to be using a unique chord here. It's called an E7 add sharp 9. That's what the chord is. The way we finger it, 7th fret on our 5th string, 7th fret on our 3rd string. Use a middle finger and ring finger for those respectively. Index fingers holding the 6th fret on the 4th string. Little finger will hold the 8th fret on the 2nd string. So we're holding fret-wise 7, 6, 7, 8. And we'll also be using the open 6th string underneath that. And we're going to strum on that. Next chord is going to be a G chord, but instead of playing a G bar chord at the 3rd fret. All right, and then so the G chord that we're playing is going to be thumbed with the 3rd fret on the 6th string, 3rd fret on the 2nd string, 4th fret on the 3rd string, 5th fret on the 4th string. I'm muting out the 5th string there. It's going to be my G chord. Bring that same shape up 2 frets, making an A chord. And we're going to do a little at the top, where I'm going to add the 7th fret of the 2nd string just for one strike, pulling right back off to the 5th fret that I'm holding with my index finger. So slowly through this will be the E7 add sharp 9, G, A, with the fuzz to speed. And that's the main rhythm to the song. Again, E7 sharp 9. Make sure you check out your chord charts on the sheet. Make sure you have that sheet printed in front of you. Next up, I'm going to do some riffs from Manic Depression. We'll see if you like that one. All right, guys, so now we're going to look at some Manic Depression riffs. By the way, if you do like this song, I did cover the entire song here on Guitar Animal, so make sure you check that out. All right, so we're going to be doing a 3/4 time song here. It's going to be 1, 2, 3 instead of 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be the count. And we're going to be playing 5, 6, 7 on the 5th string with the fuzz here. 1, 2, 3, then 5, 6, 7 on the 4th. We're going to bounce back and forth between the 5th string and the 7th and 5th frets of the 4th string, like this. Count on is 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3. And so the open is a quarter note, and the 7/5s are eighth notes. So with the fuzz, The busy riffs I played at the end of that are the 5th fret on the 6th string, and then the 7 and the 9 with a slide, so it's then 7th fret on the 5th string, then going to the 3rd fret of the 6th string, 5 and 7, 5 on the 5th string, and then 7 on the 6th. So slowly it's, and then right back to the 5, 6, 7 on the 5th string, and then we fall back into our riff. Do the whole thing again. Classic Hendrix riff. I should also tell you guys that I am using a Hendrix gauge set of strings on this guitar today. That's the 10 to 38 gauge set. I also did a video on the Hendrix tone, so make sure you check that out in the link below. It'll show you how to get more of a Hendrixy tone, and these strings are definitely a big part of it, particularly that 6th string. It's only a 38 gauge string. That's down from what would be a 46 on a 10 gauge set, or even if you're using 9s, it would be a 42. This is a 38, so really, really thin. It's unusual to have that string, as well as a couple of the other strings in that, so make sure you check that video out. All right, next up I'm going to do something clean with Hendrix. Look at The Wind Cries Mary. That's The Wind Cries Mary. Great riff, just classic Hendrix. Pretty easy tone to get. We're going to use the single coil pickup on any guitar you might have, but if you have a Stratocaster neck pickup, that's the way to go for this tone. Clean tone on the amp with a little bit of reverb. Pretty easy to get. The chords we're playing there are a little bit unusual, so we're going to put the 5th and the bass on these chords. What that means is we're going to be holding down the 6th fret on the 5th and 6th strings with our index finger. The middle 2 strings will be 2 frets higher at the 8th fret. And we're going to strum all 4 of those strings, and we're going to go up 1 fret at a time. So it'll just be nice and slow, sounds great. Now we're going to change it to where I'm holding the 8th fret on the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th strings with my index finger, and I'm going to hit those 3, and I'm going to hammer on the note 2 frets higher at the 10th fret on the 5th string, like this. So it changes the chord after I hit it. And we're going to do that, again, half steps, 1 at a time, up 1 fret at a time. And that's where the magic happens on that. You're changing a note after you strike the chord. So slowly. Really cool. Between that, I smack it. So, a smack there, and again. The way I'm getting that is I'm just smacking the strings. I'm touching the strings with the left hand, not pushing them down. Just hit them with the pick, so it gives you a percussive sound, almost like a drum strike. So, we go through that part again slowly, 2 times. Again. That riff at the end is just going to be 10s and 12s on both the 5th string and the 4th string. We're going to go 10, 10, 12 on the 5th string, and then 10, 12, 10 on the 4th string, back to 12 on the 5th string and slide off. But rather than just playing with my fingertips, I just finished playing that chord. So I went. The FA, which basically puts me in a position of 10s and 12s on my index finger and my ring finger. So I just utilize that shape while I'm playing that. Then we'll go down to the C chord. Now for these chords, they're based on regular bar chords, C, B flat, and F, but I'm not playing them that way. I'm going to play them like Hendrix did, where I'm going to be using my thumb over the top to play the bass note at the 8th fret of the C, and then the 8, 9, and 10 on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings. So I'll just go back and forth between bass, and then the treble notes, the high end, and then drop it down 2 frets. Same exact thing with the B. I'm also including the 6th fret on that first string on the B flat. You wouldn't have to do it, but I think he does strike that. So C, B flat. All right, so on the F, we're actually going to start by playing the 2nd and 3rd fret of the middle 2 strings. We're going to hit those, come off of the 2nd fret of your 3rd string and right back on it, and you get this sound. And we couldn't actually do that if we were using a regular bar chord F, because he'd be holding the 1st fret, but because we're using the thumb over the top version of F, we can actually get that open G there. So we hit the middle 2 strings, so it's and then we're going to play the bass note on my thumb, 1st fret on the 6th string, then play the 3rd fret on the 4th string, open on the 3rd, hammer on, and then so you get a lot of that sound. And we're doing that just by using the middle finger and pulling off and hammering back on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Gives it a really nice texture on that F. So very, very cool. When we go back up to C, we're not going to play C up high at the 8th fret anymore. We're now playing the 3rd fret form of C, which will be 3rd fret on your 5th string, 5th fret on your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings. And we're just going to go from the 5th string to the other 3 strings. And then we're going to play another riff. And again, that's using my index and my ring finger to play the 3s and the 5s on these strings. So we're going to start off with a 3 on the 5th string, another 3, and then play the 3 and 5 on the 5 on the 5th string, 3 on the 4th string. So it goes. And then we're going to do 3, 3 on the middle 2 strings, back to 3 on the 4th string, 5th fret on the 4th string, 3 on the 4th string. So slowly it's. So we went C. Very cool sounds. Again, it's based on a C chord, but this not up in the 8th fret, but down at the 3rd fret range. And then we're going to go back to F. This time, to change the note on the F, we're going to be using the little finger to play the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. Gives you that nice top end change. Last time we were peppering in the open 3rd string, which would have been a G note. Now we're peppering in the D note. Why? Because it sounds really cool. So to play the F part on the last measure here, we're going to be playing with the thumb on the 1st fret of the 6th string, and then the 3 and the open on the middle 2 strings, and then play 1, 3 on the 6th and the 5th string. So that went 6th string by itself, and then the 3 and open, and then back to the 6th string 1, 3rd fret of the 5th string, and then we're going to change our attention, or move our attention to the first 2 strings, the 1st fret and the 3rd fret. And the way we're going to do this, the way it's written, it's a little weird. This is the way they do it in tablature. We're actually going to be striking the first 2 strings at the 1st fret, and then we'll just go ahead and hammer on to the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. So you get that. So again, you hear 2 notes, change one by hammering on, and then play those 2 notes again. So it's slowly. So slowly it sounds really strange, but we're going to play the 6th string, and we're going to play the 3 in the open on the middle 2 strings, and then 1, 3 on the 6 and the 5, and we're going to do our big finish at the top. So to speed it's. And very, very cool sounding. A little bit difficult to play that. There's a lot of detail in that. I would recommend that you use the slowdown features and looping functions and do this 2 or 3 beats at a time. Very slow. Use your tab sheets. The tab sheets are very accurate. When you do play it slow, it doesn't sound right, but when you speed it up after you've played it many, many times, it is what he's playing. All right, I hope you enjoyed the Riffology I brought you today by Jimi Hendrix. Make sure and check out the Hendrix gauge strings if you really want to sound like Jimi Hendrix. These are by Fender, and they say Voodoo Child. Several companies actually make these, but it's a 10 to 38 gauge set. You'll have a 10 gauge on your 1st string, 13 on your 2nd. 3rd string is going to be a 15. That's really different than it should be. And then we're going to go to the 24, and then you've got a 32, which is like a 9 gauge set, and finally a 38, which is even lighter than what's on a 9 gauge set. It's a very strange set of strings, but they do give you that Hendrixy vibe. If you have more than one guitar, keep a set on one of your guitars. I think you'll dig it every time you play a Hendrix song. I'm Trent. Comments in the section below. Let us know what you thought about this video, as well as any other videos that we do here at Guitar Animal. Any ideas you have, send them our way. See you next time.